We are back.
Let's go.
Halfway to double digits. This is Bush League Boys, episode 5.
I won't get it wrong this time.
Yeah, we're posting on. If anyone saw the Twitter mishap, posting. We had a little interesting. Yeah.
We're just gonna brush that one off and move on.
We learn from our mistakes.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of
not really much of an agenda today. Kind of.
No, it's just kind of a lot's going on.
Just gonna cover everything that's happened.
And I think this is a bit of our winter meetings preview kind of thing, like what we think's going to kind of happen, what's going to transpire, what's already transpired. But the next, what is it? Next 3 days?
4th through the 7th, yeah. So 4 days, I guess. It was
Wednesday.
Today through Wednesday, yeah.
Through Wednesday, okay. Out in San Diego.
Yes.
San Diego, yeah.
Yeah. I will say, again, lead off the podcast just by saying our numbers still show. Most of the people that are watching aren't subscribed. So wherever you're watching our pods, make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate it a lot. It helps the algorithmic gods push our pods to new areas, new audiences. So we appreciate it. With that bullshit out of the way, let's talk some baseball because
I feel like we got to kick it off with like the big one.
Yeah.
There's probably the second biggest free agent other than Judge, I would say.
I mean, there's been a couple other big ones, but DeGrom,
DeGrom. So DeGrom goes to the Rangers, 5 years, $185. What's the gut check on this one?
Not enough.
I don't like what?
Not enough.
They need more.
I thought you meant money wise.
No, I was gonna.
No, the Rangers. No, for the Rangers rotation, it's not enough. No. I think they paid too much for him, but. They need more in that rotation.
So, like, the AAV, in my mind, isn't bad.
Was it 37?
Yeah, it's something like that. But when we did our free agent predictions, I talked about DeGrom and how he's only gone, like, 162 innings over the last 2 years, like, combined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm like, he's injury-prone. He's 35. And you want to lock this guy up on a 5-year contract?
Yeah, I think because he hasn't pitched 100 innings since, 2019?
It had to have been at least.
Yeah. So I think it was just when he won the Cy Young.
I don't get why you would want to try and lock him up for 5 years.
To me, I was thinking it was going to be like 2 years, 80.
Yeah.
Probably with a 1 year with a second year club option.
But I mean, say you even only go 2 years and it doesn't work out. He's injury prone. You don't get what you expected out of him.
It's not big risk.
You bite the bullet and you're done.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if his contract's fully guaranteed. I haven't really looked into it, but like 5 years, $185 million.
I think there might be a 4th year opt out. Let me see.
I will say, if he can find a way to stay healthy and give it another year or two, him and Kumar Rocker is that 1-2, and then you got Jack Leiter coming up too.
Oh yeah,
Kumar Rocker's a bust.
I don't think so.
I think Jack Leiter's more likely to be legit than Kumar Rocker. I think
Yeah.
Kumar Rocker's already proven that he has injury issues and he's that young. That's not really a good look.
Yeah.
But so the flip side of the coin though is like Justin Verlander for a while in the middle of his career was pretty injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jay twice, he was pulling groins left and right, missing games, and now he's going to be playing his age 40 season, and he's probably the favorite to win the Cy Young. So, like, the thing is, you look at DeGrom being 34. Theoretically, if he has the trajectory that a lot of these pitchers have, he might not even be in his prime yet.
Kim, go ahead.
It's a stretch, but like I'm playing devil's advocate.
Oh, I was going to say you look like you had something to say.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think that's a stretch. He has to stay healthy first.
Right.
You know,
That's like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate. But
how many 2-year deals did Verlander sign with the Astros? You know, I mean,
he's been there 4
But it's
years
like at the same time, how many 40-year-olds or 38 to 40-year-olds do you see lighting up the league the way that guys like Verlander are? Like it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a handful now. I mean, I think, but I think guys like Verlander and Wainwright, they're like kind of just paving that way. Even Max Scherzer is what, 37?
Yeah, but the reason
so,
Wainwright's so good is because he's crafty now. He's not blowing guys away. Like DeGrom relies on a 99-mile-an-hour heater with a hammer of a slider.
Well, not 102, really 102 fastball with a 93 on his slider. Like, I think the issue with DeGrom is, which you can also say this: maybe the training staff for the Mets didn't know what to do with him. Maybe they didn't have the right guys around him that were helping him pitch sustainably. Where maybe. I was reading that one thing that might drag him towards the team was him meeting with the training staff and seeing what they were about, what kind of facilities they had, what they're going to do for him. Because if you ask me, DeGrom's never he could have 1 or 2 good seasons left if I'm being realistic. Because I just think the dude is such a freak of a specimen that what he does is so extraordinary that his body can't withstand the shit that he does. He shouldn't be snapping over sliders with 18 inches of break at 95 miles an hour and pumping 102 for 110 pitches a game and expected to go out there and pitch 35 starts. Like your body's going to break down, especially in a game like baseball. Everything you're doing nothing is natural to the body. Your body's going to break down. So this is a weird signing for me because it's just it just seems like
it's just crazy.
Yeah, the risk to reward factor just doesn't seem even.
Unless there was a conversation behind closed doors that they're like, hey, let's work on reworking your pitching style. That could be happening too. And that could be with that kind of conversation, but we don't know that, obviously.
Which I think that would go with the training staff too.
Exactly.
That's those analytics guys who are looking at biometrics and stuff like that. I think that's gonna.
Yeah.
But at the same time too, is Texas ready to compete for a championship now? No. They're not.
I mean, I think that they're
not going to win the division.
Maybe.
They're not going to win the division. They're not going to finish second. So you figure you're probably at least 2 to 3 years away from competing, and then by that point, DeGrom's in the last 2 years of his I don't know. It just seems like a waste to me.
It's a weird signing too because like you said, I thought for sure he was going to sign a 1 or 2 year deal with a team that's knocking on the door, like a team that But then the weird thing is you can also argue that. Because of how injury prone he is, he's not the guy that's going to put you over the top.
Mm-hmm.
If you're lucky, he's going to eat innings and get you a lot of wins. But still, the uncertainty isn't it's just not enough to bring you up to that next level, I don't think.
So I was scrolling on Twitter earlier today, and you guys might have saw it, but it was a picture of a Lamborghini and a shitty garage, and it was Jacob DeGrom, and then listed off the other 4 Rangers starters.
Yeah, I have it. I actually seen that tweet. I wrote it down. Jacob DeGrom, Martin Perez, John Gray, Jake Odorizzi, and Dane Dunning.
Dane Dunning.
Because they got rid of Taylor Hearn, I think, right? I think they dealt him.
I
think Colby Allard, I think they also dealt.
I think he might be in the bullpen. But anyway, that just doesn't sound like a winning formula.
But I'd love to see him prove me wrong. I'd love it. I'd love to see him go deal. Because I think, say he goes out and deals and Martin Perez deals this year, and their guys play the way that they're advertised to play, they could win a wild card spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Martin Perez cannot be your 2.
After the year he had, he can be.
Yeah,
if he pitches the way he did this year, he can be. But he's, 39, 40 now?
Older, I think that was his best. I think that was
that's the best year of his career
last year.
I mean, it's also an added bonus that these guys are pitching in a division with 2 absolute dumpster fire teams.
Yeah.
And also that's a very pitchers friendly ballpark in Texas too.
And they're seeing less of their division next year with the whole they're playing everyone
everybody
now.
plays everyone.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that.
Well, that just basically means that they're probably not going to play anyone else in the league more than once, but then they're going to play the division teams a bunch.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's but that, like you said though, they're playing against the Angels and the A's, which are pretty bad teams. But then again, the Angels are making moves too.
Yeah.
The Angels are the type of team that very similar situation to the Rangers. I think that if their guys show up and play as advertised, the way they're supposed to, those could both be good teams. And I don't think it would surprise anybody if both of those teams were good.
Yeah.
They have what it takes. It's just that they've underperformed the last handful of seasons.
I really don't think Texas is going to be that bad, honestly.
I don't think so either.
I think they're 3 at least in that division now.
Yeah.
They solidified 3 for sure.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they caught up to the Astros or the Mariners.
Yeah.
Probably not. No. Yeah. I mean, the thing is their pitching needs to continue to develop because their bullpen is non-existent. So they don't have any late inning guys. They gotta pull for Gray and DeGrom and Martin Perez to just eat innings. But if they eat innings, they only need 1 or 2 good bullpen arms. Really, 3 ideally. And other than that, if your guys just go out there and you got your power bats hitting 230, bop 25 home runs, and you got your big bats go out there and really do damage, like they can be a wild card team.
You know who their top bullpen arm was this year?
Who?
Matt Moore.
That's right. I saw him pitch in AAA in April.
Yeah, I was there with you.
Yeah, he pitched he was pitching for the Phillies, wasn't he? I think for Lehigh Valley.
Yeah. And then dude ended up pitching 63 games for the Rangers this year.
Oh, nice.
Good for him. Former Cy Young contender.
Yeah, back with Tampa Bay.
Yep. I will say the silver lining for me for Jacob deGrom going to the Rangers, I think it's a good fit because I think it's just good to see him in a new area. Oh, yeah. But he was linked to the Rays quite a bit, and it makes me real happy he's not going to the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, I would have hated that.
Because with our luck, he would go to the Rays and be an absolute stud and just terrorize the Red Sox for 5 years.
The Rays would do whatever voodoo magic they do down there for their pitchers.
I think if he went to the Rays, he would have been on like a 2-year $80 million or something like that. So there's no way they would have brought him in long term.
No.
So yeah, that I think that kind of covers what we're thinking about DeGrom. I think the risk to reward ratio just doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, I have one last thing on DeGrom too. Yeah. After looking today I was looking into it a little bit. Came out the Mets' last offer to him was 3 years, $120, and I guess according to Steve Cohen, he didn't even hear back. The first time he heard that DeGrom's contract with the Rangers was $5,185 was when it got reported. Like he didn't go back with it at all.
I'm not surprised.
No,
I think he wanted the hell out of there, dude.
Yeah, I don't think the money was an issue for him. He's also said, like, outside of just playing for the Mets, he said before that he hates playing in New York. Yeah. He didn't want to go to a big market team. He didn't want to go to a team that plays in a big city. And I think Texas is going to be good for that. I think if that's the environment he wants, that's good.
Yeah. Having a sub-2 ERA, too, and losing more than you win.
Yeah, I mean.
Poor bitch just wanted to get the hell out.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
He put Stevie Cohen's number on the block list.
Don't call me no more.
Yeah.
For real. With that said, we can kind of transition to like the Mets targets for pitchers.
Yeah.
So I was reading, according to Steve Cohen, as of Friday, since DeGrom signed it, Verlander is their top priority, and a lot of people are saying that Verlander's shown a lot of interest in them too, though. Which is good because he was linked to the Yankees, and now the Yankees are shifting to Rodon. So to me, that basically rules out Verlander to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know what to think. I have no idea which way he's I've seen Dodgers, I've seen Mets, I've seen Yankees, I've seen go back to the Ash. There's so many different things that I've seen on him, and the scenarios I put in my head, one way or another, each place makes sense somehow, some way. So I'm just I don't even know. I have genuinely no guess where he even ends up.
I just, teammate-wise, I still wonder what that relationship with Max Scherzer is like from Detroit.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a curving point. That's going to kind of tear him away.
Depending on it, yeah.
Well, but same thing happened with, you can look at Josh Donaldson, Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
Similar thing. They still brought him in and were just all right, grow up, figure it out. So,
But then look at what happened in New York.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I mean, that's winning cures all. If they
exactly.
If they do get Verlander and they start winning and they do what they did last year but make it farther, hopefully, I mean, I feel like winning cures all of it.
Those Tigers teams went to a couple World Series and they still didn't like each other.
Yeah, it's true.
But I've also read that the Mets are targeting. They're the favorite to sign Jameson Taillon.
I did hear that.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense. That's a pretty good.
I mean, you're gonna have to replace. You got to replace DeGrom. Bassett's leaving. He ain't coming back.
Right, and I think Taillon makes sense. Andrew Haney was the other one. Another one just kind of makes sense. Yeah, but I mean,
shitter.
Right, but if you throw him in the 5 hole or something, like your 5 spot in the rotation,
he was so bad the Dodgers had him coming out of the bullpen. He wasn't even a starter anymore.
And then they're also
talking about low leverage situation.
Yeah,
we're down by 12. All right, bring in.
He's another guy though that had good seasons and just was bad this year. So like you don't know. He's kind of up in the air, you know.
Yeah.
And then the last guy, they're linked to Senga still. He's Kodai Senga. They're still the favorite to sign him.
Which was it not the Mets that here's the contract, sign it if you want to play?
Yeah, give him a blank check, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, write down your amount and we will pay it.
Right. But then like, does a guy like him seeing the best pitcher in base? Like, I'm gonna say the best pitcher in baseball because abilities wise, he's the best pitcher in baseball. Yeah. Not statistics.
When he's healthy.
Right. When he's healthy, he's one of the best pitchers ever. Let's be honest. But to see him leave the Mets like the way he did, get going somewhere for less money, does that kind of sour the pot for Senga? I don't know.
I wrote on my notes for DeGrom, I go, when he's healthy, he's top 3 in the league, and he's not 1 or 2. Or he's not 2 or 3, sorry.
Yeah.
So, when he can stay healthy, dude, he's
electric. He's kidding me? He's just I mean, you can't really hold it against him that he didn't pitch well in the postseason. That's like really the first
first meaningful true game. Yeah.
Because it was what was it in 14 was the Mets last time when they went to the World Series? Was it 14, 15?
Yeah, I don't even remember.
They lost to the 15 because they lost to the Royals. Is 15. So with the Mets, I was reading this all in the same article. It was kind of the trickle-down effect, kind of the dominoes that are falling with DeGrom signing. With the Mets kind of prioritizing Verlander, he's interested in them. So the Yankees are now shifting to Rendon. Or not Rendon. He's not created. Rodon. Yeah. Carlos Rodon. So, and I don't know. I don't know. To me, that would be a weird signing for them. I could see it, but like it just doesn't seem to really give them what they need.
I'm also not super high on Rodon, to be honest. Like, this is also a guy who was he's had 2 good years. Like,
well, he also had a good year for a really bad team. So
but it's I don't know. I'm just like, am I saying he's bad? No, he is good, but does he deserve to be in the conversation with the DeGroms and the Verlanders and guys like that? No,
right.
So I'm trying to pull up his lifetime stats right here because I guarantee you they're not great. Career ERA, not terrible, 3.6. I mean, it's not awful. What's happening?
I'm just looking at his numbers too.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I'm sorry.
I thought you were going somewhere with his numbers, and you.
I don't know. Just talking about how he doesn't really deserve to be in the same conversation as.
Well, it's a weird situation too because you're like, I don't think he demands, like, his abilities don't demand ace money. I don't think he's an ace with a contender.
Right.
But I think he'd be a damn good 2 or 3 with just about anybody. Because he's solid as hell. Obviously he's got sub-3 ERAs the last 2 seasons. Pitched almost 200 innings this year, which, like, nowadays that's kind of, those are few and far between for starting pitchers that pitch 200 innings, you know? Like, I don't know. I think I'll be interested to see what he gets for AAV because it's totally just I have no idea. That's basically what I'm getting at. I have no clue.
Let's throw a number out there and see who's closer. What do you guys think he gets?
I'm going to say he's probably going to go somewhere for 2 years again. I'm going to say 2 years, $65 million.
I
was get overpaid.
I'm going to say 3 years, 80.
See, I was going to say 2 at 70. So 35 AAV.
I'm going to go 3 for 80. So whatever that works out to. 20, little over 25, 27-ish.
Yeah, 27 and change, 27.3 or 26.3, I think.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. About 26.667. I don't know. We're talking baseball now, man.
I don't know.
But yeah, the pitching market's still super weird right now. And I'm not so sure that those dominoes are going to fall at the winter meetings.
I think you're going to see shortstop. You're going to see Judge at the Aaron meeting.
You think Judge goes to the winter meetings?
I think he does.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, I don't think he does either.
I think he's going to sign in like February.
I don't know. The more that I feel like the more that his signing gets prolonged in his decision, I feel like the more likely it is that he's going to end up back in New York.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Well, so it came out that they offered him in the neighborhood of 8 years, $300 million.
Yeah.
Which is between
New York
30.
Did?
What's that?
New York. Yeah.
Yeah, the Yankees. Yeah, so they came out with in the neighborhood of 8 years, $300 million. No specific numbers, but like 8 years at $300 million is 37.5 AAV.
Yeah, which I think it's more than that.
Yeah, I think he's probably want to be at about 40.
40. Yeah.
So probably 8 years, 320. I think 8 years is too long. He's probably going to want that. I would think more 6 or 7. Because he's 31, right? 31?
31, I think.
So, like, if he was 28 or 29, I could see 8 years. But it's just, I don't know. It's not like Bryce Harper. What did he sign, like 13 years or something?
13, yeah.
13 years for $500 million or something. Absurd. But yeah, I don't know. The Judge thing is weirder too, because I think all of a sudden, if you see the Yankees, that the longer Judge holds out on them, he keeps holding back to make a decision. I think the Yankees are eventually just going to have to pull their offer. I think they got to be the Yankees. They got to put the money where their mouth is. And I think that they're the biggest, baddest franchise in baseball, and I think that they're going to play it like that. They're going to be like, oh, you're playing us like this, posting all these Bush League Instagram videos where you say you got some plans in San Francisco. Like, it ain't like that. So I think it's going to get to a point, and I think over these winter meetings, if they can bring in a handful of guys, put some offers on the table, and bring in some guys that they think will help in the areas they need help, to me, if you want to win, it makes more sense to bring in those guys than just Aaron Judge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think they crumbled in the playoffs. They need more than just him. So spending all your money on just him, where you're pretty far away from being that team, probably not a bad idea to go other direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree with that. I feel like the more things just kind of are at like a stalemate and nothing's really happening, you can't afford to wait. Like, right, you can let it play out for a little while and kind of gauge interest and see what's happening, but you can't go into we'll just say January, for example, and not have a direction or an idea with what's happening. Like, you're just going to be screwed. You're sitting ducks at that point.
Yeah, especially with all the reporting coming out that, like, everyone at this point has said, oh, the winter meetings this year, expect a lot of movement. You can't be the Yankees sitting there hoping, well, what about Judge? We can't do this because we were thinking about Judge. Meanwhile, everyone else around you who was behind you, right behind you.
If you're the Yankees and you have a chance to go make a splash on somebody, like, I have a sheet right here. Like, if somebody, like, I mean, do they need a shortstop?
Kind of. Peraza.
Yeah.
And Peraza, too.
So, I mean, like, there's guys out there, and then there's outfielders out there that they could try and make a...
To me, it just makes more sense to go out and get upgraded bats for multiple spots in your lineup. They don't need pitching.
Right.
Their pitching is really good. I mean, they really all they need is someone to fill in Taillon's hole. Because other than that, their pitching is very good.
His hole, huh?
Oh yeah, they just gotta just fill it in.
I'm looking at the sheet, and Cam actually has a prediction on there that I can get behind, and that is Brandon Nimmo to the New York Yankees.
I was just going to say that.
Yep.
Nimmo to the Yankees, in the case where they don't get Judge, I feel like they're going to throw money at Brandon Nimmo.
Well, I had Nimmo, and then I also thought about them probably making a stab at Brian Reynolds. If anyone's going to trade
really
him, I
don't
feel
see
like they would
anything happening with that.
Probably not.
I don't think so either.
What, they have him under 3 more years of control?
To be honest with you, one of the only teams I can see him actually getting traded to, and they throw a good package at the Pirates for, is the Red Sox.
See, and I don't think the Red Sox could put. They could put the best one. I don't think they're going to.
So I think if they were to deal for him, I think Verdugo's got to go. I think Verdugo will be a part of that deal, and probably a couple prospects, like not high level ones, but maybe like I don't know, maybe Wong.
No, Wongy.
That's the Wong number.
Psych, that's the Wong number.
Yeah, I don't know. So we can actually touch. So we didn't even mention. So if anybody hasn't heard, Brian Reynolds has formally requested a trade from the Pirates.
Yes, sir.
Should I take the hat off?
Yeah, probably. Throw on whatever hat you think he's going to, like a college selection.
Right, here we go. Hold on. Ready?
Oh.
He has one other beanie, so
we know where that is.
I know he thinks he's going to an AL East team. Their colors are blue. They are a bird. There you go.
I don't see him getting moved unless they get like an absolute haul for him. I don't think he's going anywhere.
See, here's the thing though. So it makes sense for them to move him now because so they only have him under club control for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be contending in 3 years.
Right.
They're more like 5 or 6 years out.
Yep.
So to me, it makes sense to trade him now when in reality, he's had 3-4 really good seasons in a row. His stock probably can't get a hell of a lot higher. So like it makes the most sense to deal him now and get pieces back now. Because if he's requesting a trade now, in 3 years, if you hold on to him, he sure as hell ain't re-signing with you.
Yeah,
unless something crazy happens. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah. He's actually relatively young. I thought he was a little older.
Was he like 28, 27?
27.
Yeah. And he's only making 6.75 a year. So any team can withstand that. Anybody.
He's making more than that.
I thought the article I read lied to me?
Well, 2022 to 2023, he's under contract for $13.5 million.
Maybe it's 13.5 with incentives.
I don't know. It says his AAV is $13.5 million.
Huh.
I mean, even then, that doesn't exclude a lot of teams.
Right. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing him in a Red Sox uni.
Neither would I. It depends on what we got to give up for him, though.
I mean, switch hitter.
Marcelo Mayo, Tristan Cassis,
or Brian Bayo. That's the three they're starting at. That's what they're starting at.
Bayo, I wouldn't be super opposed to move because he's good, but I don't think he's going to be an absolute stud.
I do. I think he's going to be legit.
I agree with the.
We were talking about it, dude. They just rushed his progression so hard,
and I think they fucked up his confidence real bad.
Yeah,
I think they might have bottled that. Yeah,
we didn't have anything to win, and you're over here bringing this and then we started rolling with Josh Winchowski. Just roll with him to begin with. We weren't in the running for anything. Why are we even doing this?
Keep him down. Let him continue to learn.
But that was the thing. He was in AAA, and he's dicing dudes for 12 strikeouts a game in 6 innings. I'm like,
can we go back to the Brian Reynolds contract?
Yeah,
it's 2 years, $13.5 million.
Okay, so it's
6.25. Yeah. And he signed that. It's through 23, so he's arbitration eligible for 24. Got to imagine if he plays the way he's played, he's probably going to get in the area of 10 to 15 mil. I would think after arbitration.
I think he's going to get a little more than that. I think he'll be 18-ish.
Yeah, probably right around the qualifying number.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an interesting piece. And I think you could see, I think guys like him he's going to be shopped during the winter meetings, I think, very obviously. Yeah. So yeah, I think he's a piece to look at because I think him going to a contender could be a big piece.
Yeah.
That he could, he's just a good player. He's a good everyday player.
What was I going to say? I just want free agent guys to start flying off the board so we can start filling in this sheet.
Yeah, because we only have, 3 filled in so far?
3, yeah.
Or 4?
2, 3, 4, yeah.
Yeah. Was it Jock, Rizzo, DeGrom, and
Abreu.
Yeah. We're talking about the Red Sox big signing.
Just real quick, your boy is Wendy's. The Sox big signing. They made a big splash.
I mean, based on the size of the human, yes, he is 6'8".
He's a big man.
2 years, $17.5 million. Not sure how to feel.
Yeah, what are his numbers looking like here?
He was actually really good. So he started the year with the Cubs and then got shipped to the Dodgers. So when he was with the Cubs, he in the innings he pitched, he had 4 walks and 40 strikeouts, which great numbers. This dude got shipped to LA, right? 1 walk, 34 Ks.
That's a good ratio, right? Is that decent?
Yeah.
I mean, could be a little better. Could be 34 to none, but I love that one. But this is another. So you want to know? I got a fun fact on Chris Martin. So in 2006, he had shoulder surgery. Never thought he was going to play again.
Yep.
Started working at Lowe's and UPS.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was just your average Joe.
A little bit of was it Evan Gaddis type situation? Yeah. He was a janitor. And the dude just rocks up with his big old janitor hands, no gloves, and just hits cock shots.
Working the broom all day long.
Swinging broomsticks. What else do I got here? Xander. So I will say, Vegas odds right now have it basically at a pick 'em whether he comes back to the Red Sox or not. So it's like a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, I don't like 50-50.
Yeah.
It's better than what we predicted.
With what I saw on Pete Abraham,
we don't talk about him
today.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about him.
Good old Pete Abe.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether to believe it or not. My question was, have they screwed things up? The answer was yes. Fixable, maybe, but not looking very good.
He's a wiener.
I think he just asks questions weirdly.
Yeah.
Well, he's like a tabloid. He's like baseball tabloids, kind of.
Yeah. He writes just to get clicks, just to get the shit.
Although I did see from multiple sources that already at the winter meetings, like today, he met with multiple teams, and none of those teams were the Red Sox.
Yeah.
But he did say he was going to bring whatever offer he gets back to the Red Sox, so at least he's giving them kind of final.
It shouldn't even freaking come to that, dude.
We should have had him locked up a long time ago.
Chaim needs to go with Bobby Dahlbeck and be sent to the fucking moon.
Well, the thing is, I'd like to know how much of the contract negotiation actually has to do with Chaim Bloom and how much it has to do with the owners not wanting to spend the money.
I forget who it was. It might have just been Red Sox Stats or something, but someone put out that a quote from Chaim. He essentially said, "This is on ownership. Ownership
guess
has
what?
to write
You don't
the check."
spend money on big name players, then your product's going to suck. And you want to know what? No money's going to come in. And then when no money's coming in, then you're not going to have any money.
And then you start charging $18 for beers instead of $16 and $20 for beers.
Especially when
that's
it
the one
seems
thing that sucks about going to Fenway. I'm trying to get a friggin' hot dog and a beer, and I'm paying $47.
Well, that was the best. What was it 2 years ago when John Henry said that the reason why ticket prices were so expensive because fans didn't buy enough beer and food? I'm like, well, if I didn't have to take out a mortgage to buy a goddamn hot dog, I'd be fine with it. Like, Jesus, it's absurd. Yeah, I think we need to do a State of the Union for the Red Sox pod coming soon. I think we need to just do a Red Sox one and just air out everything going on in this freaking dumpster organization at the moment.
What date was that again? It's in January. I think it's the end of January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chaim just fucking blows. Henry blows. They all blow.
Werner blows. Fenway Sports Group blows. Oh, are you kidding me? Dude, if they came out tomorrow and were like, Fenway Sports Group to sell the Red Sox, I would literally throw a party.
I might have to make some calls.
How much do I have on my bank account?
I need a reason to party.
Yeah, we do after the past couple seasons, the Red Sox. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
dude,
boy.
It's just so sad.
People rode 21 so high because we got to the championship series, but we weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Well, the worst shut of our ass. We didn't have a team there. Like, the team was not built to get to that point. We can't be
too upset, dude. Like, we've had a real good run for our last.
No, we're spoiled. We can be
don't care. Short memories.
Upset as we want to be.
Baseball's about short memories on the field and off the field. It's been too long. I lost that taste in my mouth from 2018. Yeah. I need another one.
Maybe you should go buy the Red Sox.
Me?
Yeah.
The Bush League Boys Sports Group.
There you go.
BLBSG.
I mean, if we all combined our pennies, we could make it happen, right?
I have like $40.
36 cents. Oh.
I have $16.
Could buy like an old Ford Pinto, drive it up to the front gates of Fenway and say, I'll trade you this for the franchise. What do you say? Even trade?
Deal.
Even trade.
Even trade, baby. Yeah. You guys have any other any I can't talk today. Any other predictions? Like, who do you think the first big guy to go during the meetings is?
I feel like it's going to be one of the shortstops.
Yeah, I was just going to say short.
It's either going to be one of the shortstops or Wilson Contreras.
I think it's Bogarts.
I think it's Turner, probably.
I was going to say Dansby, and it's just going to be him going back to Atlanta.
That doesn't count.
Well,
yeah, I think he's pretty much a lock to go back to Atlanta, to be honest.
Yeah.
It just seems like it doesn't, especially with what happened with Freddie. They let him go. Fans were sad. Like, it's your guy. Like, I feel like they're really going to make it a point.
Did Atlanta actually let Freddie go, though?
Or did Freddie say, see ya?
Well, no. There's a whole lawsuit
agent.
With the agent.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I forgot about that. I did forget about that.
His agent said that he didn't pass on the contract offer because he wanted him to go to L.A.
Yeah, and if I'm Freddie, I'm going and kicking that guy's face in.
Yeah.
Burn his house down.
To the curb.
Yeah, he did. He let him go, right?
Yeah.
Right after. Well, because that guy's getting investigated for tampering.
Yeah. It's fucked.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the Marlins having zero desire to move on from Sandy?
I don't hate it. I think...
But the thing is they said they're willing to trade literally anyone else.
I got to imagine, based on
Luzardo can go.
Well, so they basically said that they would be willing to trade pitchers. It doesn't sound like they want to get rid of their bat. Like, I think Jazz is there. Jazz will probably be a Marlin for most of his career, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. They're so loaded. Like, their starting rotation, they're young, but they're gross.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know why you would say that you want to like. I mean, I guess it's because I can see them moving on from one or two guys and bringing in some legit bats. Like, I think a smart team that could maybe go out and they could trade with is Toronto, maybe. Because Toronto could use one or two more arms. And they have a lot of good young players. So, like, I just hope that if they get rid of those guys, that they make a move to bring in players that are going to help you in the future, not right now. Because they don't need guys for right now.
Toronto's not making any moves to add pitchers. They have Pat Gallagher.
Hey, you're right. Pat Gallagher, my cousin, friend of the podcast, cousin of the podcast. So I was talking to him about the Teoscar trade because obviously it's from Toronto.
Yeah,
and I was going. So how you feel about your boys trading Teoscar? He goes, well, I hate the move because they just picked up more pitchers. All pitching prospects. Like, yeah, it's a good point. I didn't think about it that way.
Yep.
So yeah, it's interesting. They have a weird trajectory too. I think that organization's gonna try to change the complete direction because of how disappointing their past couple of postseasons have been.
What? I looked it up. What was it? Their ERA was 8 in the postseason.
Yeah, it was
That's
dismal.
just not going to get the job done.
If you're bringing up 8 runs per 9, it's not going to help.
They haven't, at least that I've read. Good? Yeah. Well, if you score 9 runs,
it's good in slow pitch.
Yeah.
Fair. The other person that we can touch on real quick is Clevinger. Mike Clevinger.
I think we talked about it briefly last week, but it's made official today. So
yeah,
I like that signing for the White Sox.
1 year, $12 million.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. High risk, high reward.
Yep.
I think you can't lose in that deal. Either side can't really lose. And Clevinger is the guy too. As long as he doesn't get hurt, he's a dog. He's going to go out and eat innings. So
I feel like he's going to look so weird in a White Sox uniform.
Yeah, he will.
doing his little like rocker thing on the mound when he's
all shit.
Looks like he's having a friggin' stronk on the mound.
So did Johnny Cueto though when he was there last year.
Johnny Cueto dealt this year for the White Sox.
But he looks strange in White Sox. Yeah, the
all-time Johnny Cueto moment was when he was pitching in that playoff game, and
he just dropped the ball.
The stadium's just going, Cueto.
He drops the ball.
Cueto. Yeah, he drops the ball, and I was like, yeah.
That is classic, too. I think it was against the Pirates, wasn't it? I think it was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it was against Pittsburgh.
Our mascot's behind you.
Yeah, she's chilling.
Lulu. Ooh, her eyes look creepy as hell. Come here.
I did look up too. The White Sox have an all right-handed rotation now after signing him.
All right-handed?
The White Sox?
All right-handed, yeah.
The opposite of the Angels.
Yeah.
Shohei and all lefties. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm torn on if I think that a lot's going to happen at the meetings or if it's just going to be dead and guys are going to wait it out.
That says, it's going to be these moves flying left and right, make me believe that nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
just because of all
I
that's
think
coming.
If one big name goes like tomorrow, you could see a lot of pieces start falling. But I think if it waits till the last day and you see a couple guys go, it's
going to be rumor city.
Like if you see a shortstop go tomorrow, then all the shortstops are going to start going.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting if Dansby is the first to sign and goes back to Atlanta.
Well,
I think that sets up a lot of weird stuff.
Another interesting point on Dansby that I'm looking at right now that Hyman tweeted. So his fiance is on the U.S.
Chicago
national team.
Chicago.
Yeah, she plays in Chicago.
But
so, there's a connection there.
So what, you think Cubs? Not White Sox.
I don't think that happens. Yes.
Yeah, it's got Tim. Cubs. Big old Timmy Jim.
Big time Timmy Jim. Yeah. I don't think that happens, but
yeah, it's a lot of moves are up in the air. Like, I wish we had more to go off of and could like elaborate more on these moves that are pending and about to happen, but like everything is still up in the air. Like literally everything.
Yeah. The other one that we didn't touch on either was Eflin.
Right.
Yeah.
Rays, right?
Biggest free agent contract in Rays history.
No way.
Yep.
They paid. What is he getting? Like $17 million a year.
3 years, $40 million.
Wow.
Yeah. And not only that, but
so it's at like 13-3. Yeah, didn't he get the same exact offer from the Red Sox?
Yep, and he took the Rays because he lives in Florida.
Oh, other Red Sox being cucked thing. Did you hear that they said that Jose Abreu was their number one free agent target?
And he went to the Astros.
But to be fair, that contract that the Astros gave him, I think I would have been pissed if they paid him that.
3 years, $60 million to Jose Abreu.
And he's what, 38, 37?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, another weird contract that I mean, like, I guess if he performs, you don't really scoff at the money, but it's like a dude that old and wasn't like that's like paying Yuli Gurriel that money, basically. You just wouldn't, you know? So, I don't know. There's so many pieces that still need to move this offseason that are just could go a million different directions.
Yeah. I can't find it. I was looking for the other big contracts that Rays plays.
It's not a free agent, but the other biggest one would be Wander. Right?
Yeah. Not a free agent, though.
Like I said, not free agent, but...
Yeah.
Pre-arbitration hearing.
Yeah, I can't find it. But anyway. I'm just looking through Discord here, seeing if there's more
any
stuff.
Bombs were dropped by the...
I haven't muted, so I haven't gotten anything.
Oh, the other one we can touch on real fast is Kyle Gibson.
Oh, no.
Gibson, yeah. The Orioles,
The Orioles.
Yeah.
Bob Nightingale going, The Orioles make a huge splash, bringing in Kyle Gibson, saying that now proves that they are going to spend this offseason and become a contender. It's like, you're bored.
Well, so I have the tweet right here. He goes, the Baltimore Orioles, just as they vowed, are spending money this winter to improve their club, signing starter Kyle Gibson. Period. It's a 1 year contract.
Yeah.
Period.
That's spending, all right.
Like, was that like a year? Was it like $7.5 million or something?
Yeah, it wasn't much.
It was 7. I'm like, bro, what? He's 35.
Listen, Bob is trying, right? You leave him alone.
Bob is a fucking meatball and deserves to be also sent to the moon with Hyman.
Listen,
Bobby.
I like Bob just because he's like a meme now. After the time that he prematurely tweeted that the lockout was over.
Listen, that was the best Twitter follow ever during that time.
Oh,
fucking boob Newton, dude.
More than once, didn't it? Where it's like, the lockout's over.
Nope, no, it's not. 3
more
hours to go.
It was like literally. It was like hours after it began. He was like, "Lockout's over," and then like it literally went on for months after that.
He did it
Dude
again.
is just unhinged. Like the fact that he has a job. Who does he report for, or is he just freelance?
I think he's freelance. He's either freelance or ESPN. No one else would hire him.
USA Today.
Oh my!
Yeah, USA Today.
You know, that kind of makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
It's all adding up now.
Fox News reporter for baseball. CNN reporter for baseball. Yeah, he should probably be sent into the moon. You're right. Oh, he does a cameo. You think we should get him to an intro for the show?
Yes.
Absolutely not. We'd get canceled.
We would get canceled.
Yeah.
Wait, they lose all credibility because Bob Nightingale did the opener.
Does anybody in this world actually like Bob Nightingale?
I love Bob Nightingale like a son.
Well, maybe you're the problem.
Me?
Yeah.
He's just like that son that always messes things up, but it's cute. I feel like, he's okay. He'll figure it out at some point.
He's fine.
He'll get there.
What the hell are you doing back there?
That's the other thing. I'm looking through the Discord right now. Jacob deGrom. You know how much did you guys see the tweet on how much he's made per inning pitched over the last 2 years?
I don't even want to know because it's going to make me sad.
Just per inning, 1 inning.
Yep.
Dude's made $400K per inning.
I wish.
Over the last 2 years. I'm like, this dude's over here sitting on his thumb and getting paid $400K.
Yeah. Doesn't he have to show up to the dugout most of the time?
No.
He basically got paid all that money to just recover from injuries.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just go to the gym, basically.
I mean, get paid to lift weights and.
You know, it'd be another good pod idea. We'll do a Baseball Writers Association tier list. Take all the writers from the BBWAA.
I don't even know who else is on that list.
Rosenthal, Hyman. I think Buster Olney is.
Is
Newton Good on there?
Newton Good is on the Baseball Writers Association America.
I think I mentioned it before. It's that scene from Shark Tale. So you got everybody, 10 feet of shark shit. Newton Good. He drops boob bombs. Jason Stark was the other one. I think Peter Gammons is. Yeah.
Pete Abe definitely is.
Pete Abe, yep.
Tony.
John Morosi, is he? JP Morosi?
I think at this point, any writer you name is going to be on there. They have a million different writers.
Oh, God. I forgot about Bill Simmons. He's unhinged. Uh-oh. What's happening?
What happened?
Fred McGriff into the Hall of Fame.
Hell yeah. Live on the pod, the crime dog.
Unanimous.
Into the fame. Good for him.
Let's go.
So this is per Jeff Passan. Fred McGriff has been elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame by the Contemporary Era Committee. Among those who did not receive the necessary 12 votes from the 16-person committee, Bonds, Clemens, Schilling, Dale Murphy, Palmeiro, and Mattingly.
Good for Fred.
Crime dog.
Good for him.
The crime dog. Dude was a gangster. He was really good in his day, too.
We did text earlier and see if we were like any predictions on if there's going to be a big signing while we're recording tonight, but that was just as good.
Yep. The BLB boys, we send out our congratulations to the crime dog, Fred McGriff. He deserves it.
Freddie!
Dude is an absolute stud. He should have been in a long time ago, if I'm being honest.
We love Freddie.
Which I believe he got his nickname Crime Dog because his name's Fred McGriff, and I think it was like a cartoon called like Dog McGriff or something, the Crime Dog.
The Crime Dog.
I need to look it up. McGruff, the Crime Dog. So then Fred McGriff was nicknamed Crime Dog.
That's sick.
Yeah, I mean, dude hit 284. 493 dongs, 2,500 hits. How was he not in the Hall already? Dunno. Played for 19 seasons. Like, it's pretty good.
Did, not to switch off this, but did we even talk about the Colton Wong trade?
Nope, we didn't.
We did
not. Right over the head.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good trade.
So, Colton Wong got traded for Jesse Winker and Abraham Toro.
Yes.
I think good trade front and back. Yep. I think it makes sense for both clubs.
So, Seattle got Wong and $1.75 million cash.
So I think that kind of bones my prediction that Frazier goes back to Seattle probably. Unless it comes down to the offseason and they decide to put him back in the outfield. Because that is an option. He does play a bit there. So, but that probably knocks it out. But I think Colton Wong's an upgrade from Adam Frazier. So I like it.
Yeah.
It's a good move. Guy with postseason experience, too. He did get picked off by Koji Uehara in the 2013 World Series. But
to end the game.
It did happen.
Yeah, spiked his helmet and everything.
What's his brother's name?
Kian? Isn't it Kian?
I don't know.
Let me see. I'll look it up. You guys keep talking. I'll find out what Colton Wong's brother's name is because it's an important subject.
I'm pretty sure he's a shitter compared to Colton, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's a pretty good move. Jesse Winker, I feel like, is on a decline. Abraham Toro's solid, so he could be helpful for.
Yeah, I was right. It's Kian.
He could be helpful for the Brewers and can play pretty much any infield spot. So I mean, that'd be beneficial for them. And then Jesse Winker is essentially just taking over Hunter Renfroe's spot.
Sage fills in the slot for Renfroe.
So, I mean,
not exactly filling the shoes, probably quite like Renfroe did, but
yeah.
All right, so I have the official votes right here. So of the other than McGriff, the closest to being elected were Don Mattingly with 8 out of the 12 needed. Schilling had 7. Dale Murphy had 6. So Clemens and Bonds weren't even in the top 3.
Clemens only had 4.
Wow.
And Bonds only had 4. Oh, fewer than 4.
Wow.
Yikes.
Yeah,
How are we feeling on that?
Can we go on a little tangent here? Because this fires me up.
They should be in.
Yeah, listen. So if you ask me this, right, the Baseball Hall of Fame is used to describe and portray the history of baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not up to the history of baseball to decide who's a good guy and who's a bad guy and who cheated and who didn't cheat. That's for little Timmy and his dad to go through the thing, go through the hall, show a plaque, and he's like, "Oh, Barry Bonds." He goes, "That guy, not really good guy." That's his dad's job. The Baseball Writers of America, they don't have any place in that, and that's why it pissed me off. Because how, in the name of God, can you tell the history of baseball without statistically the greatest hitter of all time and the greatest pitcher of all time?
Yeah.
And not even if you wanted to say, like, you got Ted Williams, you have Cy Young, you have guys from different eras that compete. The two best players of a generation. Yeah, those are the two best players of a generation on either side of the ball. How are they not in the Hall of Fame? I don't give a shit what they did. I don't care if they freaking did LSD or mushrooms, like, whatever. Like, they were the pinnacle of the sport during a time period, and that time period needs to be represented in the Hall of Fame. I don't give a shit what John Heyman says about how he doesn't want to put in Curt Schilling because he has Nazi memorabilia and he collects World War II relics. Like, that has nothing to do with how the guy played baseball.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
I agree.
So do I.
And I think, honestly, you could make the same kind of case for Pete Rose, too. He did some shitty stuff. He gambled, but it was after his playing career. He never did it during his playing career. And, the fact that they're closer to forgiving Pete Rose than they are to forgiving, McGuire, Clemens, Bonds is insane. That's crazy.
I mean, those three literally played an era of baseball called the steroid era.
Yeah,
at the Hall, they have it listed as the steroid era. Of
course, it's an era of the sport.
Yeah. So put the guys in who played in that era, who were the greatest, honestly, could be the greatest of all time, but definitely the greatest of that era. What are we doing?
Doesn't make sense. Especially, but between Clemens and Bonds, what do they have? Bonds has 7 MVPs and Clemens has, 8 Cy Youngs? That's absurd.
Yeah.
That's literally, so the history of baseball, right? Say every year you have one of those. So say, I don't know how long they've been giving up the MVP. Say 100 years, 100 plus years. That's damn near 10% of both sides of those awards for their respective leagues, right? So you cut it in half if you want to split it. There's 2 every year. That's 5% of the awards given to 2 guys that aren't even in the freaking Hall of Fame. It's crazy. Yeah. And I don't know where that goes from here. I don't know if now they have to, if they wait or if they stay on the committee and they can go through next year. I don't know what the politics of that is.
Yeah.
So how many MVPs did you say Bonds had?
7, I think, right?
We'll say 7.
I can check right now. Yeah, 7-time MVP.
So MVP has been since 1931. So it's 91 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about 7.7. So yeah, pretty close to 10% of the time Bonds has won it.
So stupid. And then let's see, Clemens 7-time Cy Young. So same thing. And he's a 2-time Triple Crown, pitching Triple Crown winner. 7 times won the ERA title.
Yeah, so he's not eligible again until 26.
Who's that? Bonds and Clemens?
Schilling. No, Curt Schilling.
So are Bonds and Clemens done?
No. So Pete just tweeted, Bonds and Clemens received 4 or fewer votes suggest to me that they're never getting in.
Awesome.
Which,
bullshit.
I mean,
it's crazy.
So you said Clemens had 7 Cy Youngs?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cy Young's been around for 66 years. That is over 10% of the time.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
1 out of every 10 awards ever handed out with that name and that plaque have been given to Roger Clemens, and he's not in the Hall of Fame.
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
And I'll be the first guy to say it as a Red Sox fan. He's a douchebag. He's a piece of shit. You remember when was it in the World Series when Mike Piazza breaks his bat, Clemens picks it up and just fires it at him? You got to be out of your gourd to do that in the first place. But
well, yeah, he was on steroids. He was angry.
Yeah, he's got the rage. I just
and then Clemens goes, I thought it was the ball.
You still threw it at him.
So you want to throw monkey balls? Crazy.
So dumb.
Yeah. It's I just don't even know what to think. I also did some research too, and it's clear as day that the guys who don't want Clemens and Bonds, so I think it's just about half of the writers and guys in the Veterans Committee, if you look at both of them, are former players.
Yeah.
And pretty much all of the people that haven't voted for these guys are guys who were never players. So all the guys that played in the league all voted for them.
Yep.
It's
just ridiculous.
I don't know. It's I feel like someone needs to riot in Cooperstown. They need to be picketing outside the entrance. To get
you guys want to go?
I'm in.
Let's do it. Start it.
Do a little Portnoy at the NFL headquarters for Brady for Deflategate.
Yeah.
Let them in.
God, it's absurd. I think it would be interesting to run down a list of players that are not in the Hall of Fame that should be, because I've had
that list could be very long.
So this week, I had my mind changed on one guy. I was Andrew Jones. I saw his side-by-side stats before the age of 30 compared to Mike Trout. He's better than him in every single category. That's how good Andrew Jones was.
Yeah.
And they were talking about Trout now as already being a surefire Hall of Famer. But Jones...
Way too early predictions. You guys think Andrew Jones' son gets into the Hall of Fame?
No. I think he'll probably be a bust.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. I don't know. It's I think it's the current climate. It's really hard to be a successful outfielder and make it to the league. I just think that's one of the positions with just like the densest talent pool.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. He's young though, so he still has a lot of room to develop. So definitely a way too early prediction, but I think he'll be similar to who was it? Wasn't Kyle Lewis was the number 1 overall pick? I think.
Oh man, Kyle Lewis.
Kyle Lewis, who just got traded also.
Yeah,
I like that move actually. So.
Oh man, they forgot to put Sprinkles on my ice cream.
It's the worst. Yeah, you guys got anything else? I think we kind of touched on. This is kind of a smorgasbord episode. Just kind of chatting around.
Yeah, that kind of filled it up for the week. I think we kind of.
Yeah, I think next week we'll probably come back with some little structure. I think maybe a Red Sox town hall kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah, that was a nice, pleasant surprise though to kind of finish off the podcast, though.
Well, Fred,
that was awesome.
Fred getting in, shouts out Crime Dog. He deserves it. He should have been in years ago. At least there's some justice left in the Veterans Committee, pushing through some guys that deserve it. So yeah, I think. Do we run them out with the Christmas song?
I think it's too early for that.
Yeah. All right, we'll wait.
Next week.
We'll hit them with one of these, though.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Because it's December.
And a Happy New Year.
Rip headphone users.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
We'll catch you guys next week. We out of here.
Let's go.